All right, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. I'd like to say Shalom to the elect that's teaching this word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And today, I just want to get into a lesson. I want to entitle it, Only Evil, because that's the only thing the Lord is going to bring to this place. Evil on top of evil on top of evil, which is bad times. And these events that's happening in the earth is only making things worse. Even you have these so-called leaders assign some type of bill to bring some form of relief. That shit makes it worse on the back end. So on all levels, it's nothing but evils and destruction. And as we get closer to the perfect day, it's only going to intensify. So I got this article from Newsbreak, and it reads, Federal judge rejects Minnesota request to block ICE-led Operation Metro Surge. So you had the federal judge to override, See, that's the spirit. Yeah, Trump says federal government won't step in into protests in Democratic-led cities until they ask us for help. And that's talking about, and this is this nigga form of help right here. You have all, this how this nigga get down. This how the Edomites get down, through violence. But as you can see, this is only going to lead to more and more turmoil. Since he ain't gonna block it, that just means more protests, more people uprising and, trying to prevent them from getting more Mexicans, whatever the case may be. It's all part of the will of the Lord. So the title itself kind of tells it all. So let me get this in the book of 2nd Ezra 9. It just sounds that we're at the end of this world, the end of this system. Because the end of it, what's going to top it off is World War III. And after that, he ain't going to have nothing to build off after that. That's why we seeing everything being attacked, from this man economic system to the buildings, the roadways, on all levels. He ain't gonna have nothing to build off of. Why the scripture talk about even the Lord gonna cut off son and nephew, man. You ain't gonna come back, pretty much. 2nd Ezra 9:1, it reads, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. So as we see these things unfold in the earth, it said, then we shall well understand. It's becoming clear because we are seeing things through the testimony of Yahushua, that light. It also speaks on that when you read Psalms 19, how the testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. So us seeing things through the testimony of Yahushua, the spirit of prophecy, as things unfold in the earth, is becoming clear that this is that time the Lord is set to visit the earth, this world, this age. Because in this age, things are going to be summed up. After this, is going to be in the kingdom of heaven. So that's why everything is so intense and is at its highest degree now. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and the uproars of the people in the world, see? You got little earthquakes. You got literal earthquakes. They are very frequent, hundreds of earthquakes. It's the norm now. Here, yes, 100 earthquakes happen today. That's a normal thing now. Lord Yahushua spoke on that concerning these latter days. Earthquakes in diverse places. Hell, it was recently a damn earthquake in Alabama. Just recent. And of course, you have earth shaking events that shake up the earth. And it says, and uproars of the people in the world. See, and it's really, and it talks about how those plagues gonna reach its perfection here in Babylon the Great. So you really see it here. Those uproars of the people. For an example, that January 6th, that was a perfect example, because the scriptures also talk about how they shall not regard the kings, and the sword shall be in their hand, because that niggas was tripping because Biden won. And they went down to the Capitol and said, we finna fix this, and them niggas had their blessing, which is the sword. But you seeing once again that, that uproars, that left and right dynamic, but it's all of the same beast. And it's this devil causing confusion. But once again, this is still concerning, these are indicators that this is the end. And the end is filled with evils. Just like a motherfucker on his way out, he finna die. That's not nigga ain't going out peacefully, coughing and pressure's dropping. It says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. See? The end of the world. That's what's being made manifest. The end of Esau, the so-called white man, and his reign of terror is manifest and is on display by these evils. And the Lord is going to be evil on top of evil on top of evil to the destruction. Let's get some the book of Ezekiel 7, verse 5. It reads, thus saith the Lord power, and evil, and only evil, behold, is calm. And this is really a commandment, because that's what the Lord is pronouncing upon this place. Evil and only evil. We always mention the famine, the pestilence, the teeth of wild beasts, the power outages, because those same plagues that came upon Egypt is going to also come upon America, which is Egypt 2.0, spiritual Egypt. But when you read 2 Ezra the 15th chapter concerning this Egypt, the whole land will be destroyed. That's how we know it's talking about America, because it talks about that same judgment concerning Babylon being totally destroyed, as well as when you read with Isaiah 34 concerning Edom, because that's who it's talking about. How only desert creatures will dwell here once the smoke couldn't dust settle, literally. It says, an end is calm. The end is calm. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is calm. See? Because, it's going to be a day where the power is going to go out and never come back on. And people is going to be taken when that time comes. When the famine, no grocery store, that last day it was ever stocked. These people are going to be caught unaware, man. And it said, the end, it watch for thee. Because ultimately, these people are not anticipating, the troubles What's that? Man, what's that? I think that's Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3. It reads, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." See? And that's what we're witnessing. You have certain spirits, which is the elect, that's anticipating the evils and hide themselves in the Lord. As others that, take this word lightly or dismiss it all together, you know, they're going about their day, and ultimately they're going to be taken once these things happen, man. But it said that prudent man foreseeth the evil. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing the Lord setting this place up for disaster. You had fucking the doomsday clock to come out, and niggas worry about who's going to get into the playoffs. Who's going to make it to the All-Star game or whatever the case may be. But they just did, but totally dismiss that there's a countdown on this system. It's a literal countdown by the way of a doomsday clock. Man, come on, man. That just show you where we at in this process. That's why I said the prudent man foresee we, through the spirit of power, Yahweh Shema. That's why we hope the Lord keep us, because it's about to be a slew of evils to befall this place. And ultimately, the icing on the cake is going to be World War III. Let's see. Let's get some. The book of 2nd Ezra 16. 2nd Ezra 16 and 18, it says, "Be the beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginnings of evil. What shall I do when these evils shall come?" And that show you too, if some is at the beginning, it's going to climax. So the sorrow, the mourning, famine, death, war, that even that spirit of fear, because that's going to be a part of the captivity as well. You bound by that certain emotion of overwhelming fear. It's a beginning. So they show you it's going to be a climax to it. And that's what the Lord got for this place. It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for a minute. But for all these, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Behold, visible shall be so good chief upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion." See, the Lord is setting this place up where they think things, because things are going or continuing, you can still cut the light on and shit actually cut on. You hear the fan run. That don't mean that things are okay. That's why I said even then evils grow upon the earth, because like I said, you'll have a relief bill, and that shit'll end up backfiring on the back end. You gotta pay that shit back some. And ultimately prophecy is blossoming into its perfection. But as we see, evil and only evil is upon this land. And ultimately, the Lord gonna put this place out of misery by the way of World War III. So yeah, I hope this will edify. I'd like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rachah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect that teaches word in all true faith and sincerity. Shalom.